he wanted to fight Kovalev a fight ago, too. But nevertheless, he's going to grow into that, and I think the time is right, especially through the political things that goes on in between the few months that went past. I believe he will do that, and then I believe he'll still continue to fight at 60 to defend the titles that he do have. But to make history from 75, coming from 60, it's being the second fighter that's done that. Well, yeah, the second, because I was the first one to achieve that because Ray Robinson fell short because he couldn't answer the bell for the 15th round, right?
Joey Max.
That's what made me, tempted me to say, hey, Richard, at that time, I want to fight Tarver. What do you mean? Light heavyweight, Bernard, you only weigh? Yeah, I want that fight. And Canelo believes that where he's been seeing in the light heavyweight division, and also Sergey's fights with even Andre Ward, that he can execute that, being a good body puncher, being a good, and of course younger, but also experienced. That's a challenge that you keep Canelo in the mindset of he has to prove something. There's no turning back in the people he fight right now. And there's a lot of cries out there saying we want him to fight somebody at either Triple G the third time, some say fight one of the Charlo brothers.
Boo Boo Andre.
Andre, yep, I read that too, and I had conversations about what I think about that fight. There are some good fights under 175, but to take that Sergey fight, which is not a walk in the park, but I see why Canelo would want to take that chance at this time. I think it's a gutsy move, but I also think it's the right move to make if he continue to choose that move.
Do you feel the Kovalev fight is a good style matchup for Canelo though? Because what if he wanted to fight a different light heavyweight? Would you recommend him go ahead and challenge yourself against a different
If it was anybody out there other than Sergey that was dangerous like Sergey, that's been tested and won championships, yeah, but to me, if it ain't Sergey, then don't go. To me, it's the name. Yeah. I mean, keep it real, it's the name.
Right. Abel Sanchez told me.
And I cut you off. I got a little excited here. And did anybody remember me and Sergey fought, right?
Yep.
So I have a little bias, you know.
Because you get the get back
is
for
so
you.
sweet. It's so sweet. So you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So you asked that question, so I wasn't going to say nothing to you about it. Okay. But yeah, we'll.
Well, because Abel trained him, Sergey, for like 10 fights. I talked to him. He said, I think Canelo's going to knock him out with the body shot. That's what he told me. And obviously, he's not pro Canelo, being he was with Triple G for those 2 fights.
Well, let me ask you a question. You heard me say that before you even said what you said.
Yep.
But I didn't say the knockout part. I just said
body.
I think that would be something that he would invest in real early.
What did you see from Canelo at 160 and then Canelo when he fought you at 165?
I see Canelo is a good boxer. He know how good combinations, but and this time I am now 40% or 50%. It's not because Canelo is a great fighter. It's not nothing about that. Only because my weight, my timing. So I can do it better. So it's why this fight happened, because I need to beat Jacob clearly than Canelo and Triple G.
Fighting Canelo at 165 and 165, right?
164.
164, and then from 4 at 171. Do you think that Canelo has the power to compete with Sergey Kovalev?
Yes, because when I'm from Farah, I'm distracting, so I'm not trained. So it's more, I lost the fight and he beat me. So Canelo, it's difficult because Kovalev have good jab, so in heavy hands, but
Canelo or Kovalev?
No, Kovalev have good jab. So the jab is very important in the fight. So like Canelo, but if Kovalev for some reason hurt Canelo in one of the rounds, maybe the things can change. But Canelo is in his time, you know.
You're tall, but Kovalev's a little taller, but Canelo was able to get inside of you easy. Do you think he's gonna have that? It's gonna be harder to do that with
because
Kovalev?
at that time I don't feel stronger. So Kovalev is a stronger puncher, and he know to use his reach, you know. Things then I don't know, you know. So it's very different fight. But Kovalev is old, and Canelo is very upwards in punches, you know. Punch all the angles and work good to the body.
Canelo's obviously moved up to 107 pounds now for his next fight. Do you think that makes it less likely at some point that you guys might fight again?
Менее вероятно для того, что будет следующий бой, потому что он ушел так высоко по весовой категории.
Нет, я думаю, это была единственная его возможность, просто его единственная возможность, как бы скажем, то предложение, которое у него было, это была единственная возможность уйти только на бой с Ковалевым 175, и все, всего лишь.
I think that was his only option. Among all the offers that he had, the only option for him was to take the fight with Kovalev.
Because he didn't fight.
Потому что он с вами не встретился.
Yes.
That's right.
I think he'll win.
Думаете, что вы победили?
Что я победил бы или...
That I would win.
Но...
No, he doesn't think
Canelo or
Are you talking about Canelo Kovalev?
Yeah.
Да, Канело Ковалев.
I don't know exactly. Я думаю, что Ковалев от этого... Я не знаю, кто выиграет, но я знаю, что... Я не знаю, кто победит, но я знаю, что Ковалев от этого боя выиграет гораздо больше, чем Канело.
I don't know who's going to win, but I know that Kovalev is gaining more from that fight than Canelo.
Are you flat out sick and tired of, having Canelo's name attached to you? And do you feel like, with this fight, it all came about because of his doing? And, what do you think of his comments lately?
Я не устал, мне просто интересно наблюдать за вами, вы как бы специалисты того, что вы должны задавать более интересные, разные вопросы, у нас много направлений, у меня направлений гораздо больше, вы все зациклены на Канело, и это, например, мне где-то даже теряется интерес, потому что вопросы сталкиваются о Канело, то есть тем самым показывает, что вы настолько слабы, и у вас одни вопросы только о Канело, у нас есть разные направления, есть разные чемпионы.
I'm not tired, but it's interesting for me to observe you asking those questions on and on and on again. We have a lot of different things to talk about. We have a lot of interesting subjects, topics, and you asking about Canelo tells something about you as journalists. Explore better options. Ask more interesting questions.
Для меня это у вас проблема, не у меня.
Yeah, I think it's your problem, not mine.
Do you think he can knock Canelo out with a said right hand, or I mean, how hard is he hit, really?
I'm not a big fan on rating guys' power. That's not like ever been my thing. Like,
why?
Just
is it more about how it lands, or is it?
I've never been a fan of it. Like, I'm not a fan of saying, "Oh, that guy hits hard." Like, he's a good hitter, he's solid, but it takes more than that. Like, I didn't see the big right hand against y'all. Watched the whole fight, called the fight. I didn't see it. Saw a good jab, but I saw an aging fighter. I saw a fighter who doesn't have the confidence he once had, and he's no longer the crusher. There's no knock on him. He's Kovalev, now he's Sergey Kovalev. There's a difference. That guy's long gone. He's been long gone. So Canelo's fighting Sergey Kovalev, still very formidable, still solid, still dangerous, but he's not that guy anymore. The first 6 rounds are going to be very interesting. The best I think Canelo can do is get out of there 3-3, 4-2, even if he's, won 2 rounds and Kovalev won 4, and then step it up that last half of the fight. But Canelo's gonna have to be in the lion's den to get the work in that he wants to get in. But I heard Buddy McGirt say that Kovalev's gonna hit to the body, but Kovalev has never hit to the body. He's not trained like that. It's not his foundation. So it's late in the game to try to teach this man to start hitting to the body. He may land some shots, but he's gonna be in range to get hit.
Right.
It's too late for that.
Right.
So you may be able to teach him one or two things like, hey, stick him down there. But an all-out body attack, he's gonna get hit more. So I've gone back and forth. I can see Canelo stopping him late. I can see it being a close fight. If I had to choose, I'm gonna go with Canelo late, but or maybe even a decision. But I just can't. But here's the concern about Canelo. I'm hearing Canelo talk a lot about bulking and building. Wrong thing to do.
And he gasses a little bit in the late rounds.
And he gassed at his regular weight. So I made that mistake in the first fight with Kovalev. Right?
What mistake is that?
Putting on too much mass and thinking that I had to look the part instead of being myself. Second fight, went back to my roots. I said, I'm gonna look the way I look. I'm not gonna worry about that. My weight's gonna fall where it's gonna fall. And I was a lot faster, a lot stronger. I got my spring back. So I think Canelo's making a mistake. He looks real wide. He's already a thick dude, but he looks real wide and thick. I don't think that's a good idea. So if he comes in there like that, he's probably gonna get hit more than he normally does. So I'm giving y'all a lot of back and forth, but that's how it's playing out in my head.
Right.
It's a lot of different things that can happen. 1 minute I say I can see Canelo late. Next minute I can see Canelo fading and you know, Kovalev doing better than, you know, maybe what you thought he was going to do down the stretch. Kovalev is the type of dude right now where he's going to be as good as you allow him to be. At his age, with the miles that he has on his odometer, he's going to be as good as you allow him to be. And if Canelo fades with this extra mass, plus his already fading with it at his normal weight, Kovalev may look a little bit better than we think he would down the stretch. So don't really have a prediction. If I had to pick, I'm saying Canelo late or maybe a decision, but it's a lot of things that can go, you know, different ways in this fight.
How much do you think, you know, what you're talking about, him diminishing a little bit is why Canelo took the fight? A lot, right.
Not a little bit.
And you're saying including the power is...
Yeah, like I didn't really see it in the fight with Yard. And Yard fought a good fight, but Yard wasn't doing anything to a point where I could say, okay, that's why I didn't see the power. Like Kovalev had opportunity. Buddy McGirt was calling for it. He didn't really respond to what Buddy was telling him to do. And Buddy was telling him to box. But when have you ever seen Kovalev go away from a guy and look feeble like that? And he just looked old. He looked old. And the problem with Kovalev, and I've told y'all this many, many times, he made the same mistake that all the guys that I fight and beat that I'm not supposed to beat made. He doesn't acknowledge what happened, so he's not going to get better. He's going to keep getting hit to the body.
Has he gotten better at responding to adversity, though? Since
He did a great job against Alvarez. He outboxed Alvarez.
And Yard, he was tired against Yard?
Man, he was a punch or two away from getting knocked out.
This is true.
Am I exaggerating with that?
No, he was on Queer Street.
Listen, he said if I got stopped in this fight, I would have retired. So that means he was a punch or two away from retiring, getting knocked out and retiring. That guy would have retired. Kovalev would have retired. Those are his words if he got stopped right there.
So that means 1 foot's already out the door?
I'm not going to say that 1 foot is out the door, but I'm going to say that tells you how much he has left in the tank.
Right.
He's a punch or two away from retiring.
Right.
And then Yard happens to gas himself out, and then Kovalev wakes up, and he's as good as you allow him to be. Then all of a sudden, he woke up and got new life. That's a known fact. If you got two tired fighters, and one fighter looks more tired than the other one, all of a sudden, you're going to get life. Kovalev got life. He's less dead than me. So it's the lack of conditioning.
Maybe Canelo will give him that life in late rounds because, you know, we know
it's possible.
Right.
So it's a tricky fight to give a prediction on. You can see it go a lot of ways, but if I had to pick, I'm going to lean toward Canelo. I have zero faith in Kovalev.
Do you think Canelo should get full credit trade if he beats a guy like Sergey Kovalev? It's pretty much like what you said. It's kind of like on his last leg.
It's a tough question because, you know, but we have to be honest. He's not fighting the Crusher. He's fighting Sergey Kovalev. Let's be honest about that. But he's still jumping up 2 weight classes, right? He is still taking on a guy that, you know,
that's title.
He got a little something left in the tank. And if Canelo, you know, gets reckless, he can get caught. But I just don't know. Even if Canelo gets caught, I don't know if Kovalev has what it takes to follow up. And I just don't see that guy. I haven't seen that guy for a long time. So we give Canelo credit, but we have to be honest about the fact that it's a risk, but it's a calculated risk. That's a fair statement. That's not marginalizing, that's not minimizing, that's not taking nothing away from him, but we gotta be honest about what's happening. It's a calculated risk. So if he can pull it off, great job. but it's a great job in lieu of everything else that Kovalev is bringing into the ring with a lot of baggage, man.
Do you think the judges is going to be a factor?
No. Like I said, I can see Canelo late, maybe. Kovalev is getting up there in age, man, so get to a point where if it's getting that rough on him, it may not make a lot of sense to keep going. He'd be in the corner, then, man, I got 15 million to pay my manager this, trainer that, sanction fees, I'm bring home this. I don't know, buddy. What you think?
I wanted to ask you.
I'm not saying he's gonna do that, but stuff happens late in your career, make you think different.
I'm telling you, that man right there is 6'2", 6'3", who I've been in the ring with, it's no joke. So, I understand you want to get ahead of the game of other fights, but ain't no fight as important than this fight with Sergey Kovalev and Canelo Alvarez for the light heavyweight champion of the world, where you have a 60-pounder who still can make 60 for a few years at least. It's doing something that only one man or two men ever done in boxing history, and one of them is me. Let's go up 2 weight class and dare to be great, and stamp of approval as the Evel Knievel of boxing of this era. You too, Evel Knievel, and you'll tell me the next time you see me. I don't see the brain you did, no disrespect. Yeah. You gotta free y'all. This is the fight that people are gonna really be hyped about.
Why 175 right now? If he can make 175 in the future, why right now? Because after this fight, where does he go? Does he
go back down and defend his title?
Thank you.